Hey everyone, it's Teresa Crane with Jeremiah Dreams. How are you guys tonight? Whew, I am glad the weekend is here and I see I've got a glare. That must be one of those lights over there. I have a glare in my glasses. That drives me nuts. But I can't tell exactly for sure where it's coming from because it looks like most of the lights are pointed down, but it is what it is. So just just bear with me. I hope you guys had a great Friday, a wonderful end to your week, and the weekend is here, and I am so glad. I'm so glad to call this week done. It's been busy, been kind of crazy. So, listen, as you join, please grant StreamYard permission. Hey, Miss Janice, how are you, my friend? Say hello. Grant StreamYard permission and say hello so I can say hey back. Hi, Janet. How are you? I am ready to chill. I've been to dinner with my mother and my sister, and we just had a great time. And I thought, well, before I get in and get settled with vegging on the couch, I'm just going to come in here and paint for a little bit and just visit with my friends. Last night, when we finished with our live together, I had to keep on doing some work on this piece. I just couldn't stand it. So let me show you what's going on here. Let me share my screen. Hi, Winifred. How are you, lady? So last night I needed to work on this tree. It was on my heart and I had to work on it. So I put in this tree, tucked it in behind the chapel. I added the white blossoms. I have a flowering pear tree in my yard, and that's why I decided to go with the white blossoms on the tree. It just felt right. And so when I posted the picture today of the canvas, I kind of got some suggestions from you guys on what else we need to do this piece. So I want to work on some of that. And I've got a few little ideas of my own that I want to include. I'm going to save those for a surprise because I think it's going to be kind of neat. I think it's going to be neat. So let me get going here and try not to bump all the things. And let me see if I can even elevate this a little bit just to make it a little easier um, for you guys to see. So I'm going to go ahead and I think what I want to work on tonight. I'm feeling a couple of things. I really thought about putting a stream in behind here, kind of in that background on that horizon, and y'all probably can't see what I'm doing. Um, like, well, y'all, this canvas is so big. Let's do it this way. How about that? So I'm envisioning a stream in behind these dogwood trees right along that horizon. Something very subtle, but it just feels right. It just feels like it needs that. Um, so I'm thinking, I gotta get my fan going, y'all. The lights are already getting pretty hot. Hold on a second. Gotta get some air stirring. I know, Baxter. What's Mama doing? He's looking at me, wagging his tail, like, "Mama, what you doing, Mama?" Hi, buddy. Yeah. Oh, I love you too. Sweet boy. He's a sweet boy. So, let's see if I can even angle this a little more, and maybe y'all can see more of it. How about that? You okay? Oh, Socks walked in. Y'all haven't seen Cricket, I don't think, in a while. She's here. She's here. Oh, me too, girl. I'm glad you do too. Okay, I'm going to share your comments and I'll tell you why. So Janet says, "So happy I get to see the live." I am too. I just love it when all of y'all are here. And the reason I'm sharing your comments is because this is also going onto YouTube. And I have a really good friend that's not on Facebook, but she is able to get on YouTube. And she'll hear me talk about your names. And she's like, "I don't know what they're saying." And so I thought, I need to start popping your comments up there so that over on the YouTube side of things, everybody else can be included in the conversation and it makes a little better sense. So let me begin. I want to do this stream, and I've got a couple of colors here. I have this real blue. I'm going to use some of it. I have this other blue called Parrot Blue. And by the time I do those and I mix the regular white and black with it, I think that's going to give me what I'm looking for in terms of this little stream, and doing a lot of mixing and those kinds of things. And I know it may mess with my dogwoods a little bit, but I can always go back and touch them up, and I can take care of that pretty good. I should have thought about the little stream early on, but it just sometimes it just kind of comes to you a little bit later. And it might be that we can position it where it starts and meanders through, where it doesn't affect what I've already done with, I'm looking for my brushes, with those blooms right there. Sorry, don't mean to be sidetracked here. I had straightened up my table, and so in doing so, I moved everything, and I didn't put it back. And I'm like, I'm kind of discombobulated right at the moment. All right, I think I've got about everything I need. I am going to use tonight for this stream a very, very, I don't know if you can see, it's a very narrow flat brush. And that I think is going to do what I need. So this is what my palette looks like. Okay. And we're just going to first, I believe I'm going to start with something very soft, and then I'll go back and add some darker color. And what I'm doing first, actually, let me show you, is I'm really mixing this parrot blue with some white just to get it even softer. Because I just want to kind of lay it out. Just want to kind of do an outline first of how I think this thing should flow, and then I'll go back and add the details. So did you guys have a good day? What's been going on with you? And again, this is going to be a very flat looking, meandering kind of stream. It's not going to be wide at all, but it just felt like it needed some more back in that area. And I'll probably use my little round brush for some of this detail. So I'm just going to lay this in. And probably have it continue on back this way. And I even want to bring it over here. Y'all can't really see right there. But I even brought it over in this section a little bit so that we have a continuation. Okay. So let me kind of just, and it's more like a little brook. It's not even a river. I don't even know if I would classify it as a stream. It is just some movement of water that it just felt like it needed a little breaking up of all the green in the background. Keeping it pretty flat. Going to be real easy up against these trees. See how that's breaking that up already? Okay. So I'm going to get some water on my brush. I'm going to pick up some of this True Blue. I'm just going to add some depth. I want this to be pretty fluid. I'm going to go ahead while this is wet. I'm going to add some more of these other colors. So it's just about blending and mixing straight on the canvas while it's wet. I'm going to add just these little areas in between these trunks. might have to go back and touch up the trunks a little bit. That's okay. It's all good. I like the splash of blue in here too. And I'll get my little round brush and really detail this out. I'm going to have to turn this just a little bit so I can get to it. Don't want to forget about this little area over here. We'll fine tune all this. Okay. Some of this is looking a little bit darker than the other sections. So I'm just going to, whoops, way too much water. Hold on. Pick that up with my brush. That's the nice thing about if you do get too much water, it picks up really easy. You just let your brush do all the work. Just what it needed, movement of water. Oh, hey, there's Latrice. Hey, Latrice. She says it's so pretty. Thank you, lady. Miss Janet says just what it needed, the movement of water. Yes, it does add life. Yes. All right. Let me add just a little bit darker color to this other section over here. I'm telling you, this size canvas is just a challenge now. And I'm going to, after I get this darker blue in, I'm going to get my little round brush and we're going to just really add the detail to this water. But I want to lay in this darker color first. Can y'all see halfway decent? All right. Time for my favorite little round brush. So I can really get in here good. Y'all, I'm making just a great big mess on my palette. Let me show you. Just mixing all the colors and all the things. And yeah, it's just making a mess. But you know, you see all these tones in water. I want to go back in here and add in between the trunk of this tree. I want to get it really good and tight up against the tree so it looks like it was there all along and not an afterthought. But it was an afterthought. I don't know why I didn't think about adding this in the beginning. It just didn't come to me. And we're going to have to add some detail for the bank of it, you know, the shorelines of it. Add just a hint of the water in between that trunk. Let me turn this some more. I can think of so many songs, church songs related to strings. If I could get away with singing some of them or humming them without getting in trouble with Facebook, I would do it. But I best not. Okay. So here's what Winifred says. Makes you want to dangle your feet in the water. It sure does, doesn't it? I imagine we all have lots of wonderful memories of growing up around little streams and brooks. So this over here is like a wider section of it. And then it narrows in my mind. That's why I kind of did it this way. Okay. So before I get too much further, I want to do some detail with the shore. Oh, I hope I don't get my shirt in the paint. That would not be good. Okay. I need some brown. Let me go ahead and just get this dark chocolate. This will be a good beginning for the shore. Nice rich color. And the way I'm going to do this is much the same that I did this. I'm just going to do a lot of dotting in because I don't want it just like a stripe. You know, I want some, make sure y'all can see halfway decent. And it's going to have multiple colors in there. There's my cricket. Hi, cricket. Hi, baby. I don't know if y'all have seen cricket before. Y'all, she's a calico. Come here. Come here. Come here. Yeah, come here. Here's cricket. This is my cricket girl. She's a sweetie. I love her. I love her. She's a good girl. She's just a purring. Just a purring. Yes, we do kisses here. Fur babies get kisses. Sweet baby. Okay, here you go. All right, back to this shoreline. So this is like the bank on the far side of the stream. I have cat hair on my face now. And you see more of the muddiness of it on the other side. Also is a great way to hide any imperfections that we feel like didn't really make sense or fit well. Like when I first was sketching out where I wanted the path or the stream to flow, I can kind of hide those initial little strokes. You gotta be sure and get between the trunks of the tree. I have cat hair all over my face and it tickles. And I don't want to forget this side. Can y'all even see that? Let's see here if I can hold it. Right over here is where I'm working on this far side. Okay. I have a little place right there I need to touch up. Maybe see if I can get it up with a clean brush here. Yeah. All right. So now I want to add, let me get a little bit, I'm reaching around the camera. Sorry. Oh, Winifred says, love your fur, baby. She is so sweet, this girl, this cat. She is a sweetie. My granddaughter, though, apparently another child may have like messed with her face and she didn't want anybody to touch her face. You know how little kids are, they're curious. And so now Cricket's not much of a fan of littles. And so now when my granddaughter wants to love on her, she says, Cricket, snake at me. That's what she calls it. Cricket, snake at me. Kids are so funny. So I'm gonna go. I'm going to put this lighter brown along the top edge of this dark brown. My thought is, as you go down closer to the water, the soil is darker. And I mean, there's not a lot of change in these colors. It's very subtle. But y'all are gonna have a hard time seeing the difference, being on the other side of the camera. But when you look at it in person, you can definitely see the change. So when I take a picture and post it, hopefully you can blow it up enough that you'll be able to see that too. Just very, very subtle details. I don't want to miss y'all's comments. Y'all holler if you have something to say. We'd be able to hear you. Y'all, gets toward the end of the week. It just gets to be a struggle. So, Paint and Create is open. I hope you guys might can join us, join our group. It is a lot of fun. I'm going to be working on some tutorials this weekend to add for the projects we've got going on. I would love to teach you what I know. And it's not just about paint, it's about how you view art and life around you. I want to come over here and get this little bit. Okay. So there's the far side of the shore. Now I'm feeling like on this side we need just green, and I'm feeling some lighter green. Excuse me as I reach across. And this color is called spring green. How appropriate is that? Christine says, how did my granddaughter like her paint? She loves it. Oh my goodness. you could see the little grin on her face when I gave it to her, and you could tell she was just proud that it's hers. And when the baby comes, we're going to have more things that are just one or the others. Make sure they each feel individually and equally important. Now, let me hold this up a little closer so you can kind of see what I've done here. It may be still kind of hard to see. It may not focus well. So I've got this stream going. Whoops, excuse me. And I have 2 shades of brown on this far shore. And I know it's probably not picking that up very well in this camera. But like I said, I'm going to take a picture and post it later. And you should be able to blow it up a little bit. And so on this shoreline that's closer to me, I'm also dotting in green, which is going to lend to the thought that there's grass on this shoreline. We can't see mud or dirt from our vantage point. We're just going to be able to see the green grass. So that will add, and then I'm going to go back and add some detail elements to the body of water too that I have in mind. So I'm just trying to add in like what appears to be grass effects. Slow and steady wins the race, y'all. So tell me, what did you guys do today? Well, hey, Kathy. Hi, right back to you, chickadee. I was thinking about you earlier. My mother and my sister and I went out to eat, and we have this fairly new Italian restaurant in town, and it was quite busy, quite busy. But that's where you see friends and stuff on a Friday night. A lot of times, is local restaurants, and just adding some indications of grass along this little stream. And once again, I'll hold this up to you in a moment and show you how this is looking. I think I skipped a little section right here. I'm just dotting this in. I want the imperfections. I don't want there to be stripes. I'm going to come over here and do this. So we were coming home from dinner, and my sister was telling that she saw a coyote in the back side of her property, and it looked like it was coming my direction. And Baxter's had some nights this week where he's just had a little fit about something out back, and I'm guessing now it probably is coyote related. All right, let's see if I can hold this up. and get this to where maybe it will focus. It's still going to be really hard to see. I think it's just going to require um, me taking a picture and posting it, and y'all have to blow it up to see what's going on here. It's a crick. That's exactly right. So Christine said she stayed out of trouble today. Good job, girl. Gold star. Winifred said that your restaurants are opening at 50% starting tomorrow. Our restaurant, I think, was more than 50%. I'm not sure what the latest rule is. I got to work quick listening to all of it. Um, and yes, ma'am, Kathy, it's a crick in the background. It just felt like it needed that contrast of color along that back horizon. So one thing now I want to do, I want to go back to my blues, and I want to add some little whites and very soft blues, as in like bubbles of, not bubbles, but little rapids kind of thingies. But like if there's an indication of some rocks, I might even put in some rocks. I probably should put in some rocks. And I'm doing some very faint movements with my brush as well, so that it looks like the water's moving, but I'm also almost dry brushing it in so that it's not major, except for like where I want there to be an indication of faster moving water around rock or something underneath. I really am just about like dry brushing it on there. I'm working on this section that's right between the trunks of the tree so that I have good flow. Just trying not to get too much paint on my brush. Let me show y'all what it's looking like, because I know it's so hard to see. Let me turn this. There we go. So you can kind of see those rapid little colors, and I probably will put some hints of gray in there to make your mind believe that there's some rock. And then this through here is just about dry brush. It's just very faint, very faint. Oh, okay. I got to put y'all's comments up here. Let's see here. Kathy says, my grandparents always said crick. Yep, yep. Then Janet says that her youngest came by for lunch and brought Taco Bell. I love Mexican. Kathy says that walkway looks like I tripped over really easy. Yeah, don't be careful. Be careful. Janet says, I do not even need it to be bumpy to trip. Y'all are too funny. Too funny. Okay, so I want this through here to be a lot of dry brushing. So I'm just laying in my paint in dots, and then I'm going to go back and streak it because I don't want a bunch necessarily anywhere. I just want this to look like there's some movement going on. And then I'll probably have to go back and, fine tune some of this, but at least we're laying it in. I'm going to go back and get some over here. Y'all might not be able to see this part, but just hang tight for a minute. Okay. Now, I want to subdue some of this white because some of it is a little bold. So I'm going to subdue it a little bit. I'm going to go back and add some of this true blue where I feel like it just is a little much. And it'll also help shape some of these little rapids. And it's just being careful and just dotting in. Have any of you guys ever been like on whitewater rapids or any of those kinds of fun things that people like to do on vacations? We have before. We didn't do like the stage fours or anything like that because the kids were smaller. But I will never forget, it was over in the Gatlinburg, Tennessee area, and my son was up front rocking it. He was just really wanting it to take off. Oh, Kathy. Yes, ma'am. I did see your live last night. I thought I responded to it. Yeah, Kathy, tell if you will even, you're welcome to put a link to it in the comments. So do that. That would be awesome. Because Christine's interested to know what it was about. So yes, please do that. They were a singing. They did a good job too. All right, I want to put in some of this little bit lighter. I'm going to streak some of that in. The parrot blue, which is a very soft blue. Kathy, that song that y'all sang in your live, is that one that you guys wrote? Because I'm just curious. Whoops, excuse me, y'all. Winifred says, She really likes the big tree behind the church leaning against the trunk, taking in the singing of the birds. Awesome thought. Thank you, ma'am. Trying to get this position so in hopes that maybe y'all are on a bigger screen than I have and can see more. But I like too how this little stream gets narrow and wide. Y'all, that Italian food we had was so good. I feel so full right now. And I am doing a little bit of streaks with this, but I'm trying to be very sparing. Because, I mean, little brooks and stuff, they just have a lot of different colors in there. Okay, let's see if I can show you again. Trying to get it where it's not too much light. There's just several colors mixed into this. But I love, let's see if I can get it over here. Y'all, the little rapids right there going on. So Kathy has shared, whoops, I can't reach it. There you go. Thank you, Kathy. That will take you to their page. Oh, okay. You didn't write that one. Okay. Now, Mississippi Mud, did y'all write that one? Okay. I want to get some dark green because I want to add some depth to the grass that's on this side of the shore. And this is the Christmas green. Get my blue off. Okay. Just barely touch in some darker green. Just work it into this shoreline. I'm trying to give indications of blades of grass and not just dots. You guys, the darks and the highlights are what really gives a piece life. Takes it from looking flat to looking alive. And as you've probably picked up on by now, I like oftentimes starting with the mid-tone of the color and then darkening it and lightening it to get the shade that I'm looking for. And so after I get this dark in, I will be going back in and adding some light. It takes all of the colors to bring a painting to life. to go over here to the chapel side and work back toward where I am. Let me get this one little area over here that y'all probably can't even see. It's just very small. Okay. Now, what I want to do, I scooped up some white. See if I can get this to where you can see. And I'm just going to lay it right there. Then I'm going to take some of this spring green and I'm going to mix it in there so that the spring green is my mid-tone that I had a while ago. And I'm just going to add some lighter of it. It's probably still another cat hair. And I'm just going to stroke in varied aspects of it. Be very sporadic with it. For some reason, this little brook reminds me of Little House on the Prairie. I don't know why. Oh, Christine asked, whoops, what do I have planned for the weekend? Actually, tomorrow I'm having to work a little bit, and I don't mind because of the nature of my job. I work around other people's schedules, and so I actually have about 3 appointments tomorrow. So that is just how that rolls sometimes. And then also, what I'm really excited about is I am starting the baby quilt for my new little granddaughter that's coming. It took me a little while to figure out how I wanted to design it. And so I started, actually, I got the fabric washed before we went to dinner. Got it pre-washed and dried. And so probably after this live tonight, I'm going to start cutting out some of the squares and begin to put that together. I'd like to be able to have it done in the next couple of weeks, so we'll see how it goes. Now I'm going to go back and pick up some of that mid-tone spring green. I probably need to wash my brush off though. Got a pretty good chunk of white paint on the barrel. Just get that off. Okay. So I'm doing the layering effect that I tell y'all about all the time. That will hopefully pull off this effect that I'm going for. I'm mainly hitting the places where I feel like it's just so white. I might even go back and hit it with some of the dark as well, just to tone down some of the brightness of it. I mean, I want the effect of the lighter colors, but I don't want it to be overpowering because then to me it's not believable. Go over here and get some of this on this side. Pick up a little bit of dark just in spots where I feel like it's just a bit too bright. just about there because I'm just really kind of hitting it sporadically. And I'll try to show y'all again. Okay, I'm gonna hold this up and see if I can let y'all in on what's happening. Can you kind of see? And one thing that I'm going to have to do as well is kind of add some more of this green a little further out so that it doesn't look just like a line, because that bothers me a little bit. So I'll have to work on that. That's what I'm thinking. Well, y'all, it's been almost an hour working on this sweet little brook. Okay. So Kathy put the link on my personal page, but it did come through here on the comments. So hopefully people can copy and paste it up in the search as well. So yes, you guys go check them out. They got a great sound. And she's just explaining that they sing gospel music and hope that you guys can make it over to their page. So I'm thinking that probably one of the next things that we'll do is this church sign is going to be like right in here. Okay. And I do want to put a few little headstones in here. And I'm going to just, I believe, put them like over in this area, just a few. I don't want to be too much. And I might put a little peak of a couple right through here, um, just so it makes your imagination believe that there's a little cemetery in behind the chapel. All right. I don't know what else. Oh, I do have an idea for the hills, but I'm going to hold that to myself and surprise you later because I think it's going to be kind of cool. All right, y'all. Well, I've got something in my eye. Probably a cat hair. But I'm going to try to come live sometime tomorrow. I don't yet know exactly what time. Part of it's going to depend on how the day runs with these appointments. But I really want to. I have something in my eye, y'all. Hopefully I got it. No, it's still there. That's a terrible feeling. Sorry, I don't mean to gross anyone out. I have something in my eye. Okay. So I guess on that note, I'll hold this eye closed so I can figure out what's going on with it. Christine thinks there needs to be a squirrel. You know, that went through my mind. I love you too, Christine. All right, you guys, I'm going to scoot on out of here. I have enjoyed it as always. Tell your friends about me so we can have more fun, more laughter, and just have a great, great time. All right, my friends, I'm going to scoot on out of here and go put on my pajamas. I'll see y'all later. Have a good evening. Love you all with lashes or a bunny wrap. Ooh, I like the ideas y'all have. All right, y'all. I'm out. See y'all later. Bye.